Alrighty. How's it going? It's going all good. Just wanted to give my recap for tonight. Super happy with the results. What is today? Today is Monday, August 2025. Right. So, I drew this up for a special somebody, my girlfriend, because I want her to understand what the hell I'm doing and what the hell I'm looking at. So, she knows that the market consists of highs and lows, right? And we talked about market structure shift, right? So this happened around 12 or 1, I think, on Friday. Oh, we made a huge high, made a low, made a high. Now, what is this? A break of structure. We have a high here, we have a low here, we broke structure, but I don't really. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can count it. There's a break of structure here, made a low again, somewhere down here. I don't even know when this candle opened, but anyways, made a low here, we made a high here. What is this? Break of structure, and consists of some lows, and I don't consider this a high, so we made a low here, we made a high here, we made a low here, we made a high here. What is this? A market structure shift. Oh, break of structure, market structure shift, same shit. But what's interesting is that this is internal, right? This is external structure, and this is and this is external. So this range here, because we made a little high, we made a low, we made a higher high, we broke structure here, but we were still in this range. So if we were to break structure completely, we would have to close above here, which we did. But with the reactions that I got, it was definitely a liquidity sweep for me. Um, as we had a sharp reaction. The price wasn't bouncing around up here. It wasn't doing any of that. It just quick sweep gave us a nice reaction. So that okay, cool. We got the reaction. Now I need one of these POIs to fail, right? Because remember, we did break structure, internal structure here. So this structure means something, right? So I was kind of waiting for this fair value gap to flip, which we did, but I still wasn't convinced just because we were still in this leg, and we were like pushing down really aggressively. Um, so I was waiting for uh, this order block down here, like the last lows before we put in that high to see whether we would hold or not, right? So I was waiting for a flip. Oh, I was actually gonna take buys on this just because even though we haven't touched equilibrium, just because price came in here, that could be the rebalance it needs to continue up higher. As there's not as this is a huge fair value gap, like absolutely huge. So price can only dip its toes in it and have enough liquidity to push on further up. But um, but yeah, I could have taken buys here just because price filled it in quite a bit, and that we could easily reverse up higher. But I was all decided on what this low was gonna do, right? Because if we broke this low, then what's it going for next? It's going for Asia lows, right? But if we hold this area here, this area here, this little box, we drag it across. But if we hold that area, we're going to target these New York highs, right? So it was kind of textbook today. Not gonna lie, it was kind of textbook. Um, so I was just waiting to see. Um, I was pushing for more sales though, just because again we were going through these bullish fair value gaps like nothing. But again, price never gave me a re-entry once we had that sweep of these highs and we broke structure around here. I was looking for a tap into this fair value gap. Um, I could have taken this one, but again, we had this order block that was here. Because again, this breaker structure means something. We broke structure. That means that buyers could easily step back into here. So once this flipped, so once we pushed through it, we I'll show you guys. We broke it here. We closed below this low here. So what does it make this? It makes this a breaker structure, right? We broke structure. And I was waiting to see whether, because this instead of it becoming a order block, it now becomes a breaker block, right? Because this is where buyers should have stepped in, or they tried to step in over here, but ended up losing control. So this could be a really good POI um, to take a trade from to target Asia lows here. So even though we were quite far from equilibrium from here to here, I wanted to see what would give me a reaction. So we could have easily got a reaction off this fair value gap again, or come back up and tap this again. But we got the reaction from this breaker block here. And reaction, I mean by we broke structure on this black candle. We pushed back up on this pink candle here. We tap back into the fair value gap, right? And we made a reaction downwards. And what did the reaction do? Not only did we break internal structure, so fractal, not only did we break fractal structure, we also created a fair value gap here, oh, which is drawn over here, right? So this is this was the displacement I was looking for, and now I was just waiting for a some weakness of buyers because after I saw this, um, I was kind of just waiting to see how this bullish fair value gap would react. Ideally, it shouldn't hold just because we're already in a bearish structure, but you never know. Um, it could react to push up, to maybe hit this unmitigated fair value gap. But um, I see that we weren't able to close above, and I took my entry. My stops were above this candle. As if we broke um, this candle's high, we were obviously going to take out these highs and tap into maybe this order block because this inversion fair value gap still isn't mitigated. And what's up here? An order block up here. Why is this not the order block? Because price already tapped back into it. You see that? Price used it to push down. So that's mitigated. So what's the next one? This one here. We could easily tap back into here again. But fortunately, we got that reaction. Price couldn't close above. Sellers took control. My stop loss was put above these highs, as I explained before, just because if we broke these highs again, there was a chance that we would have there was a chance we would have came in to fill in this area if we want to continue down low again. But this fair value gap ended up holding, as I explained before. We had a breaker block. We push into it, and we got a displacement outwards. You see that? We break into it, and we get that displacement down, and we also broke internal structure. So this is a good POI. So yeah, it's targeting Asia lows, just because as I mentioned before, if this area held, there was a chance that we could react off this to continue higher to take out New York highs, previous highs to continue on the trend. Um, I'll draw it just for you guys to understand. But see, London opened here, so we could have easily came down here, uh, made a higher low, higher high, higher low to take out these highs. So it was just with us to see whether this area is going to hold or not. It didn't, in which I was able to take a trade off to target Asia lows here. But pretty textbook. You know, we had two really strong draws on liquidity. We could either continue on the trend or we take out Asia lows and and fill in the gap a little bit more before continuing in the major trend, uh, um, which is super bullish. Definitely bullish, like for the day, in terms of high time frame buyers. But again, I'm not on the charts for. I want to take my trade between 7 and 9. So 7 was in London session opens, and 9 being where I'm comfortable of taking my trade. Because anything past 9, your trade will run for maybe an hour, 2 hours, and that's when New York session opens. And New York session brings new money into the market, could stop you out before going your take profit. So at London session, I'm just trying to catch that continuation move and seeing what market's doing. What structures are breaking? Why is it breaking it? What do we react from? As you can see here, we swept these highs, got the reaction. Wasn't an entry here. I was waiting to see whether this order block held, which it didn't. Therefore, it became a breaker block. We push up into it. We get the displacement out, and I enter on the Fair Value Gap, targeting Asia lows. So pretty textbook. Um, and yeah, that is London session for today. This was a 4-hour trade. It's pretty good. Um, yeah, I was happy with that. Um, yeah, yeah, pretty happy with that. But I hope your guys' Mondays are going well. Make sure you guys risk manage. Never overtrade. Never revenge trade. Revenge trading is really bad. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.